Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Philosophy and Current Issues USIS 1022 Section 70. We are from Group H. In our group, we have 5 members and they are Patrick, Muhammad Sakib Islam Fahim, K.M. Tafsirul Haq Shimran, Umar Shatla, and I am Rohan Mundal, the leader of this group. Our lecturer is Khawtar Abdullah Muhammad Ahmed Baumi, and the title of our poster is Implication of Modernism in Our Lives. Now, my group members are going to present this poster.
Hello, I'm Patrick from Group H. I will talk definition. The first is by Mehdi 2020. Modernism is a break with the past and the current search for new form expression. Next, a practice usage or expression peculiar to modern times. The next one is by Simpson 2020. It is a tendency in theology to accommodate traditional and religious teaching to contemporary thought and especially to develop supernatural elements. Now about theory. Arising out of the rebellious mood at the beginning of the 20th century, modernism was a radical approach that yearned to revitalize the way modern civilization viewed life, art, politics, and science. You can find it in mdc.edu. History and origin. The origins was modernism developed out of romanticism, revolt against the effect of the Industrial Revolution and bourgeois values. Next is the history. Modernism continues 1930 until 1945. Between 1930 and 1932, composer Arnold Schoenberg worked on Moses and Aaron, one of the first operas to make use of the 12-tone technique. Next, modernism in Africa and Asia. Peter Kalini suggests that modernist concepts, especially aesthetic autonomy, were fundamental to the literature of decolonization in Anglophone Africa. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, I am Muhammad Sakib and I'll be talking about the implications of modernism. First, I would like to talk about the impact on Islam. The modernists attack the new wisdom at its weakest point, that is, its social political norms, its individualistic ethics, and its inability to speak intelligently about social, cultural, and political problems, generated by a long period of intellectual isolation that was further complicated by the domination of the European powers. Unlike the earlier tradition of the Islamic philosophy, the new wisdom had no appreciation for political philosophy and had only a benign toleration for the affairs of the world. Next, I would like to talk about the impact of social changes on education. Social changes refer to an alteration in the social order of a society. It may refer to the notion of social progress or socio-cultural evolution. The philosophical idea that society moves forward by dialectical or evolutionary means. Social change may be driven by cultural, religious, economic, scientific, or technological forces. More generally, social change may include changes in nature, social institutions, social behavior, or social relations. Then next, I'd like to talk about impact on literature. In literature and visual art, some modernists sought to defy expectations mainly in order to make their art more vivid or to force the audience to take the trouble to question their own preconceptions. Lastly, I would like to talk about the impact on music, how modernists affected the music system or music. Arnold Schoenberg found a new way of organizing sound by rejecting traditional tonal harmony. And that's all.
Hi, I'm Tafsir from Group H. I will talk about the survey results of our project. As part of our project, we have released a survey containing 10 questions. In total, we got 33 responses, which gave us information about how modernism mattered to people nowadays. If we look on question 1, about how many people studied about modernism before, we can see that 51.5% of people already studied about modernization, which means more than 50% people already know what is modernism. For the second question, we can see that high percentage of respondents believe that modernism is still relevant to 21st century. For the third question, as we look on the pie chart, we can see that about 87.9% of respondents believe that modernism affects our social relationship. For the next question about how much easier our life has become due to modernization, we can see that about 60.6% of people believe that our life has become easier due to modernization, whereas 30.3% of people believe that it became very easy. Besides this, a very few proportion of respondents believe that modernization have made our life difficult or has no effect. As we move to question 5, we can see that 15.2% of people strongly agree and 45.5% of people agree that the advantages outweigh the drawbacks of modernism. For the sixth question, we have asked our respondents to give any advantages or disadvantages regarding modernism. From the seventh question, we came to know that only sometimes they find the modernistic philosophy appealing to them. In the eighth question, we asked, does modernism alone can significantly change our way of thinking in a positive sense? Here we see a slight competition between agree and staying neutral. That is, 42.4% of people stay neutral regarding the statement given, whereas 39.4% of people agree to the statement. For the ninth question, we can see that more than 50% of people believe that we can still use the similar ideas that our ancient modernists share to apply modernism in our real life. For the final question, we can see that about 69.7% of respondents believe that we have become more open-minded due to modernization. On the other hand, 42.4% of people believe that we became antisocial due to modernization. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Omar Ahmaduddin Shatla, Group H. So this is a case study about the manifestation of modernist architecture in Malaysia, specifically Petalang Jaya City. This case study was made by Hilana Aman Hashim, Zuraini Muhammad Ali, and Migat Arif Shah. Modernism was a global architectural movement of the 20th century which arrived in Malaysia during the British colonial period. The modernist style and philosophy influenced a wide range of local building types such as commercial, residential, educational, governmental, industrial, and religious building. As you can see on the top left, this is an image of a battery factory, and on the top right, this is an image of a mosque or masjid. As you can see, both of them have a very modernistic style to them. The approach of this modernistic design was associated with functionalism of buildings. This was done through elimination of decorations, rational use of material, and acceptance of structural innovations.
Hi, I am Rohan Mundal. In summary, we can say that this poster discussed about the implication of modernism in our life. Our group researched modernism and discovered all the key modernism related information. Modernism is a period in history of literature that began around the early 19th and lasted until the early 1940s. In general, modernist writers revolted against clear-cut 19th century storytelling and formulaic words. Instead, during and after the First World War, many of them told fragmented stories that reflected the fragmented state of society. A modernist has 5 main characters, such as individualism, experimentalism, absurdity, symbolism, and formalism. To conclude, we can say that modernism has a huge effect in our practical life. We have retrieved all the information about modernism from these sources. Thanks for being with us. Stay home, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.